Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I've got another Jeep, God help me. I've been having ongoing issues with this Jeep here. It's a 2004 model Grand Cherokee Limited. I've had this sort of bit of a misfire when I first bought it. It was a total lemon when I got it. It's just, yeah, had a miss. I've done all the engine sensors, fuel pump, coils, injectors. Gone through, then the transmission died around Christmas time, so luckily I had a spare for it, but it's going right now. Like, I've taken the beach to my mates and I've been towing with it, but occasionally get a bit of a misfire and the cruise control turns off, so I'm thinking it might be a simple thing like a vacuum leak. So I bought these new inlet manifold gaskets, but yeah, it's showing signs of it being a slight vacuum leak, because the cruise control turns off and it's got the old school vacuum system for the cruise control, so yeah, it could just randomly turn off when there's something's not right. So but yeah, ultimately I need a parts car. I need something I could just, if when things go wrong with this car, I go to park and just throw into it, like alternators, bloody you name it, diffs, bloody transfer case. There's so many things can go wrong with them, but yeah, I've got spare. So I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace, trying to see if I can find just a parts Grand Cherokee, and yeah, they're sort of getting a bit, they're around, but you have to sort of travel for them. So I'm like, yeah, righto, let's go find one. So it's hard enough finding one, let alone people even get back to you. So yeah, I found two Jeeps. They're like 3 hours away from me, out west, inland. Long way to go, but I rang him up and he said that he doesn't want to sell just one Jeep. He wants to get rid of both of them. So the one I've got, I went and picked him up and yeah, brought him home. Took me 3 days, one trip up in my LPG Falcon wagon just to see what's up there. And then yeah, I've seen this one. So this one's a 2000 model Loretto. First looked at it, I'm like, yeah, that looks like shit. He said he got it ready for his daughter, and then his daughter got a job in mining. Instead, she just went out and bought a brand new car, Nissan Patrol V8 petrol, I think. Because as I was leaving the town, she seen me at the servo with this on the back beyond this thing. But yeah, so I went and had a look at it. I thought, this looks like shit. I don't want it. I just want the Apple car. But then I had a look at the console and I noticed this. Quadra drive. It's like factory diff locks in a sense. So yeah, back in the day, I had one of these back in 2010, and to get one for quadra drive, it was a little bit more dear and I sought after, because yeah, go off-road and they're really capable, but still wasn't enough for me to want the car. I'm an iron about it, but yeah, he didn't want a part. He wanted to sell both of them, which I get because he wants to make some room. So pick this old girl up, and I've got another one, the parts car. It's down the side of the house. It's basically the same as this car. It's a limited. This is a 2000 model, 2004 model. The other one's a 2002 model, but we'll go down and have a look at it. So here it is here. One thing I really do like about it, it's got nice wheels. But I managed to score. I didn't want the motor because he said the motor had been overheated badly and had been sitting out the weather, so I didn't worry about the motor. It had a V8 4.7 litre in it. So I got obviously the gearbox, transfer cases attached to it. I've got the engine's computer, control module. The interior is near complete except for the lower part of the back seat, so it's got all the leather interior. But yeah, it's good just to have something I can just get parts off from time to time. But he said this was a good car. He said it was good until I got trashed. Kids bloody loved it and rally bashed it. Paddock bashed, I should say. But dog seems to like it. Hey boy, watch out. Yep, so this is it. Do now is to work out if this is worth keeping or just parting it out, because I can easily pull the pieces, keep what I want, and just sell stuff off on Facebook, because I know there's quite a few there's quite a few people out there who still run these. They're not really worth much when they're not going, but when they're on the road, registered, and everything's good, a lot of people want them. I've never had a problem selling Jeeps. They generally sell pretty quick, so long as they're worth buying. So first thing I noticed looking over it, I didn't want to take the car until he could prove to me that the motor's good. So he said the fuel pump's gone in it, so we just pulled this off, put a bit of fuel in, eventually got it going, got it running, and I could tell straight away the motor was good. He said something about the heads had been done up on it, but I could tell straight away. It didn't have any lifter noise, no knocking or anything. It sounded really good. So I knew this is definitely worthwhile keeping. The motor itself in good order is worth, I don't know, I could easily flip the motor for $1,500, I reckon. But yeah, he said the fuel pump's gone. So when we did start the engine, it I'd done we can see for the codes, it's done free flicks of the ignition key, and it comes up where it says done there now. I come up with it as a P0463. Looks it up in Google. And yeah, it turns out to be a fuel pump, so that's an easy one. Yeah, not necessarily easy if you haven't done it before, but so it worked out. Yep, the fuel pump's gone, righto. So then I looked at the engine bay and it looks like shit, crap everywhere. But I've just noticed, this is the first time I've really had a chance to look over it, these heater hoses going inside the car, the heaters disconnected, and I thought, oh, that's not a good sign. And look down here, you see it's been bypassed, which indicates to me that the heater core inside the car's probably got a leak. Dear oh dear. I couldn't care less about fixing this car up at the moment. I was thinking my son might want a Jeep, but by the time I got it home, he's got no interest in it, so he wants a Ford Falcon FG, like a later model Falcon, which is cool. I don't care. So what the goal is now is to look into this fuel pump issue. So knowing it had a faulty fuel pump, I knew what I was in for. So what the go is, right where this spare wheel goes, there's a fuel pump directly under that, under this section here. So what I need to do is to cut a hole around here in the right spot, remove that, and then I can put a new fuel pump in there. Then I should be able to start it and drive it and see what it's like. But I've already got onto Rock Auto in America. I bought a new fuel pump assembly, pretty much the same as what I bought for this car. So yeah, that'll get the thing running, and then I can see what else is wrong with it. Wow, I've replaced the fuel pump in this thing before, obviously, and yeah, pulled this cover off. Look at the sand. Wow, that's from me going on the beach and giving this thing hell. But yeah, definitely won't be pulling. I'll be vacuuming that out before I seal it back up again. But another thing that went wrong, I was at my mate's house and it was stinking hot, and my son was in the car, and I put the keys in the console and said to my son, I said, I'll leave the keys here for you, mate, so if you want to turn the ignition on, listen to music or whatever, it's there. He didn't know, and he accidentally hit the central lock in here on the door and locked the car, and then he opened the door, like he got out of the car and he closed the door, and yeah, so I had to bust a window. There's another reason I needed to get a spare car, a window. I mean, I could have just gone from the wreckers, but just like you buy one part, and then this here's rusted, so I need to it just adds up real quick, so I better off just having a second car if I got the room. But yeah, now I've got that. Now I've exposed that, because this hole should have been further back a bit to give me better access, because I started cutting into the tank, fuel tank, so it's only plastic, but yeah, it didn't cut right through luckily. But in doing that, I know where to cut it better. So yeah, I've got this one here, so I'll have to cut the hole in a better spot, I think. Couldn't get much of a better cut than that. It's funny how I know now. I knew where I went wrong with this one. How to get this one that little bit better. Bloody mud wasp nest. So what I'll do now, I'll get the vacuum cleaner and I have to get right in there and thoroughly clean this and see what sort of surprises I find in the fuel tank. Cleaned it out, I ended up using the garden hose. Yeah, freaking cut myself. I didn't clean these edges up after cutting it out. I just got a bit slack, cut me open, so now I had to put a super glue. All good, sealed up again. Doesn't bleed. So now, yeah, garden hose, clean that up. Now I've just got to undo these, take that out and see what lies in the fuel tank. What a mess. So what's happened is the fuel's been sitting there for a long time. Fuel pump's been stationary, not working, and it's seized, I reckon. Then in the fuel tank, oh, what a mess. Just full of rust and crap. Unbelievable. Yep. So what I'll do now is I have to siphon out all the fuel and clean up all that crap. And I have to replace, imagine what the fuel filter's going to look like. I've got to replace that too. Pumping the fuel out of this tank and bloody fuel went straight in my eye. I saw now. So yeah, I sucked all the fuel out. All slurry. Just stale fuel. Crap. Yeah, fuel tank's mint. Pretty closest I'll get. Siphoned the fuel out, wiped it out, then get the vacuum cleaner and just get any rust left behind. But yeah, it looks pretty clean. So it's ready for the new pump to go in. Then yeah, bloody just got to replace the filter. It's actually going pretty good this time. Just bloody things are pretty messed up at the moment. Me, mum and dad got this family cat. We've had it for like probably 3 years. We lost one of them. It disappeared, the brother and sister. And then yeah, just last night or yesterday, we lost the male, Max. He believe he got bitten by a redback spider. We tried eating it, or he's playing with it. But yeah, for in America they call him a black widow, I think. But we've got them in Australia. They're everywhere. My son's just gone on a rampage and killed a couple in the garage. There they, this time of year, come around summer, they're pretty busy, but the bastards are everywhere. I've got to be careful in here. You got to pick up something there hiding in hospital for a few days, or I've never been bitten by one, but yeah, so put the fuel pump in. Got the fuel pump ready to go in. So I've got the seal. It can be challenging. So there's a new seal there. It's the old seal. I use a bit of this assembly lubricant. I use it as engine assembly unit lubricant, but I use it on this thread just to make it spin that little bit easier. But as soon as the fuel hits that seal, it just starts expanding and seals up. But yeah, it can be challenging trying to get this thread to bite. See how it'll go. But so I've installed, completed putting the new fuel pump in, put a new fuel filter in it. That can be challenging if you don't do the bit of research first, trying to get connections off. It's above the diff. Fiddle even, I've done it before, so it's all good. So I've got this. I could just go ahead and start the car, check fluids and all that, but I'm thinking I'll do a fuel rail pressure check. So I've got this kit here. So I'll just get this gauge and we'll hook it up and see what the fuel pressure's like. So I've connected up this gauge to the fuel rail. So now I'll do is just prime the ignition. It jumps up. That's good, about 55 psi. Before I can start the motor, I need to check, see how it is. Yeah, it's got plenty of oil in it. It's dirty, needs changing. Worry about that later. Transmission, I can't check the levels till the engine's running, but look at that. Oh yeah, looks like, it did say he did get this. He was getting this car ready for his daughter, so he put a bit of time into it. One thing I need to check. See, this car got the 5-speed 545 RFE transmission, and they've got this thing on the transmission called the solenoid pack. So the original ones have the black solenoid pack, and they're problematic. The first sign of them that they're going is when you put the car in ignition, put foot on the brake, pop it in reverse, and check your reverse lights. So it's got reverse lights, that's a good thing. This one here didn't have reverse lights when I first got it. Went to go for rego and they said, you've got no reverse lights. I'm like, shit. So I tried a micro switch mod under the gear shifter and managed to get past it. But since then I've put the later, I've had to rebuild the transmission and I've put the new solenoid pack. So here's the original black one. When you start getting rough gear changes, sometimes you look in here, they've got these loose rubber seals, see how they're all deteriorated? So you get leakage and you start getting shitty gear changes, where this is a later model, later generation solenoid pack. So this one's actually faulty. I got off eBay, Taiwan, so I'm not getting a refund on this. So yeah, that's your sealing plate. So this is the ideal one to run. So this one here, it's a long story short, I've got another transmission I put into my silver Jeep, and it already had the white plug on it, but this one's genuine Mopar. I bought it from Rock Auto in America, and it's got the upgraded rooster plate. So the only difference is that section there is slightly deeper than the original. So yeah, you run the upgraded rooster plate with the white plug solenoid pack, and yeah, you get, well, apparently you get better gear changes, but I'm running this one I got with a transmission I put in this car, and yes, change is really smooth, it's really good. So yeah, we know we've got reverse lights, that's a good thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean the solenoid pack's any good. But I never had transmission problems before in these Jeeps. It's only recently I started having issues, so I think it's time to give this thing a kick in the guts. See if it starts. I reckon it will. But I want to confirm whether this transmission or the whole car's, what needs to be done to it, and it's worthwhile keeping it or parting it out. Righto, we're going to start her up. We've got a car in the background idling. So before I run this car in any way at all, I need to put, because this car's got quad drive, one of the red flags that people would bring up is that you got to have the same tyres, same size wheels, tyres. Wasn't so much wheels, but the tyre radius has got to be the same of all four tyres. So I've got these ones here, those wheels, which are on the other side, the same. The fella I bought this off, he said that this tyre was flat, so we just threw this wheel on there. So this is I think this is a 16-inch rim. The other one's a 17. So I have to either take this one off, put the original tyre, wheel and tyre back on, and yeah, seal it up, whatever. But I'm thinking I might just go to these style wheels. I've got I've got 5 of these actually. Paid $100 for this 5, but I really like them. This is what I noticed in America and the Lorettos, a lot of people run these. I really like them. I reckon they're pretty cool. Hence why I paid $100 extra for them. But I could throw the 2013 Jeep Wrangler wheels on it, but these are equivalent to a 33-inch tyre. and I had him running on this car, and yeah, it was great. It looked sweet. It was great off road and all that, but I did get a bit of death wobble a couple of times, and there's one spot in the road. It's pretty scary, but yeah, they knocked the speedo out. But yeah, they do look really good, those Jeep Wrangler wheels. But so this Jeep's actually a Vision. It's a model called a Vision, so it's got these style wheels on it. A few other factors, but yeah, I'll paint it black because I originally silver. But the clear coat they put on there, moisture gets under it, and they just look like shit. So I just paint it black. It's got really good tyres on it, so I'll just run them for now. But I think yeah, throw these suckers on, and then we'll just drive it around the yard. I can't drive it in public roads. I know you might get away with it in other countries, but in Australia they really come down on unregistered vehicles, like really bad. It's like easily $1,000 all up, unregistered, uninsured. List goes on, so won't do it. So throw these wheels on, see how we go. Just jack this car up because it's got this special transmission guard. I wasn't able to shift the jack over to the right spot, so yeah, it doesn't look safe at the moment. But look at here, he's got Bilstein shocks, which are good. I have to challenge test them, see if they're any good. The rubbers here look really good. Springs. He said that he put it's got new rotors and pads. The rotors don't look new anymore, but the pads look like they got heaps of meat on them. CV beats look alright. Can't check ball joints or anything yet, but I can do that later. But yeah, just going over it and make sure it's all looking fair. What I generally do when you replace the rotors, give them a coat of like clear engine enamel. That way they stay looking like new. And when you start using the brakes, obviously that'll wear off the rust. But yeah, so far so good. Oh, got to show you this. Big fuck yeah exhaust. Just dump it for the diff, no worries. Bit of flat bar, welded up there, all good. Yeah, unreal. Little surprises you find. So yeah, it looks pretty good at this point. Grooved rotors, heaps of meat. I'd be inclined to I did ask the guy, I said, have you still got the rest of the exhaust? He used to go to the diff. He said, nah, look around, I couldn't find it, so yeah, it's gone. I'd be inclined to probably, I'm going to get a hoist in the shed soon. I wouldn't mind making a dual exhaust system for it. I've had one in the past, twin stainless, 2.25, 2.5 inch. It sounded absolutely amazing. And when the PCM or ECU, whatever you like to call it, it retards the timing between gear changes, and you get this really nice deep groan bark. Sound amazing. But yeah, ideas. But at this point, this car, I'm not going to do anything to it. Just going to leave it. Don't even know what I'm going to do with it. Just a bonus, a cheap bonus. Well, I've got to find out soon when I go to drive it. Just got the wheels back on, some room in my yard. Take for a hit. Just in my driveway. Used a bit of silicone spray on that. Said we'll come back, but ultimately they need repainting. Could use an adhesion promoter or plastic primer, then coat it with like a clear. Probably just paint it grey again, I don't know. Just ideas at this point. Either way, it's got to be fixed up to be better than what it is. If I want to sell it or use it. I've just noticed too, oh, this thing stinks. Oh God. Notice, look at that. Wow. Never seen that happen before. That whole upper front panel up there, there's tweeters under here. That whole thing just unclips. But yeah, there is. I thought someone might have tried to rip it up. But I think it might just be the sun. I don't know. I hadn't seen it at that level before. They start bulging here a little bit. But that doesn't matter because you can get on the internet, you can buy upgraded double DIN stereo systems that replaces all this, and that there you can't even see it. It's got like the screens right covering up here. But what we'll do now, what they've done here, they've tried to glue this fascia on, and it hasn't stayed on there. It looks like shit anyway. It's fallen off. Then the glue's come off and it's leaked all over here. Now that's probably, don't know if that can be fixed. So that whole face section there probably need to be replaced. It'd be ideal to just take the whole dash out because it's got a leaking heater core anyway, more than likely. And yeah, just put a whole new heater box in it. That way you've got climate control and all the features that Unlimited to have. But is it worth the trouble? Is it worth the effort? I don't know. But this class is definitely old school. It's got 250,000 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles, probably 180 or something. Yeah, so we'll just drive around the driveway here and just see how it goes. I wonder if it's got a CD in there. It's ejecting and nothing's coming out. No, it hasn't got one in there. So much to do. See if it's got... See if we get stations. Nope. Try another station. It's picking up stations, but speakers aren't wired up. Doesn't matter, it's just shit. I have one of these in one of my old cars, but righto, start her up. Just that. Righto, she's running. She's got oil pressure. Voltage 13.5, that's a norm. Let's test out. Did get a heap of dust on me. Air conditioning on, see if it's got air conditioning. I can regas the air conditioning, I've got stuff here to do it. Although it's got a tag in the engine bay saying it got regassed in 2015. Oh, listen to that motor. Sounds amazing. Yeah, it's definitely peeling up. Needs to be stuck down again. Piss that off. It's hard to tell. It's not a very hot day. Doesn't seem to me like it's working. This, if I regas it, I've got the stuff to yeah. I don't think it's working. Don't worry about that for now. Righto, let's test it out. I never driven this car. Yeah, see how it goes. So piss that off, put it drive. Oh, you hear that viscous fan? They usually got hydraulic fans in them. This one's got the old viscous style fan. Brakes are nice, although we can't properly road test it. Let's go right back and not hit anything. Just these mirrors. Yep, they work. Oh, that motor sounds nice. Not as good as the other one, but it sounds good. So what I can do now, I can, while it's rolling, just roll it back a bit, put it in low range. She's in low range now. Give it a bootful and not hit anything and see how it sounds. Oh yeah, feel that. Oh yeah, no problems there. I'll have to test to see if the quad drive works good. We'll give it a good bootful here. It's blowing the tyres off, that's for sure. Motor's at 50 Celsius, so it's not properly warmed up. Right back. We'll just go through the gears. Oh yeah, she's jerky. Low range. Do one more go. I've got to properly get under the motor and just make sure these things have a habit. If you haven't got a good coolant system, or the coolant system's a little bit low, which I have checked, they crack the heads and do all sorts of weird shit. I've done it twice. I've I've done it twice actually. I'm stupid. Let's give it a good boot full again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She feels good, feels nice. Righto, let's park her up and let's have a look at the motor. But I can't really test it properly. I need to really drive it, but yeah, I can't drive it in public roads. Risk getting in trouble. So we'll put it back, put it neutral, put it back into up. So let it roll. When it starts rolling, she wasn't on there. Back into. Yeah, she feels good. It did say it was alright, but it's a shame about the air conditioning, but I'll test it out again in a minute, but it doesn't feel like it's working very good, but I can resolve that. Sometimes if you pull the motor out, some people don't realise you can pull the motors out and you have to worry about disconnecting the condenser and stuff, so maybe that's the issue, or it's just got a slow leak. So I'll shut it down and we'll see if she's got any leaks. Everything appears to be sweet. First thing I'll check with the air conditioning. Feel that. The air conditioning's cactus. Needs regassing. I reckon I'll find when I regas it, I'll find it's got a leak, and then we can address it. Either way, if that heater core's not connected, I might be wasting time regassing at this point in time. I've noticed one of these injectors right down in there. You see the clip's broken. That indicates to me something's happened with the head. So yeah, the cylinder heads maybe have been off, and typically people break the clips on them. Just looking over everything, very, very dirty. But what I like to look for underneath the car is oil leaks. So I can't see any obvious leaks, although the oil isn't that hot at this point in time. But what happens, I'll just turn this motor off. It's taken a long time to heat up. What's getting there now? Starting to think the thermostat. I don't know. It's taking a while to heat up anyway. I'll worry about that later, but turn the motor off. Typically what happens with these, the sumps get a really bad leak from the back, and they start leaking, and then people don't realise, and they run them low, and then bad things happen to the motor. I know that one. It had a really bad sump leak, and it used to leak on the exhaust. It used to stink. And it got to the point where I reckon it's leaked that bad that it's just ran low on oil. It's lost oil pressure. The big end bearings have grabbed the crank, spun the bearings. Then it had a bottom end knock. I knew as soon as I bought it, I knew, got it home, like, yep, this thing's got a bottom end knock. So I just simply dropped the sump, replaced the bearings, resealed the sump, new gasket, and she's been sweet ever since. But I think, based on just driving it now, I reckon it's definitely got potential. Definitely got potential to be brought back to its former glory, and yeah, have it on the road again. So what I'll do now, I'll give her a bath and give her a clean up, and really get in there and get rid of all this muck. Now that this car seems to be worthy of some love, start hitting it with the cleaning products. So got these two, pretty much do the same thing. This one's for those hardcore four-wheel drivers who get their cars dirty on weekends and they like to get a grime off. This stuff here, don't know, wheel and tyre, probably a similar product, but yeah, I've got this wax. So I use the Snow Blow Cannon, so I use that petrol high pressure cleaner, and I've got this one here. I bought that intentionally to spray weeds, but I think I'll make a very heavy mix. Use one of these products on it, get under the car and get in the engine bay and really start cleaning. I've got degreaser as well, but yeah, this car's going to get hardcore cleaning. So yeah, you can see it's very, very dirty, but in about 2 hours time this thing will look mint. Can't do much for the outside of it, But yeah, at least I can make it look a bit more presentable, and I've got a carpet cleaner. I can really get in there and give that interior a good clean. Using this product, give it a good go over, let it soak in. Then got right in the engine bay. Bring on electrical problems now. That's all good. I run it for a fair bit after I do all this. Dry it all out. Should be sweet. I'll rinse it off soon. Let this stuff soak in. I'll start scrubbing it down, getting the door jams and shit. Looking pretty good. Clean up. Engine bay's all clean. The amount of dirt that come out of this car, unbelievable. It's pretty they've done that, like a silver. Yeah, right, okay. Time to get serious. Now I've had the engine running for a bit. See if it's throwing any faults. Really got to drive the car to know, but I'll plug it in. Find out where it is again. I've got the car scanner going. Got the app, got ABD. Connect. It should work, so I had it connected to my other Jeep. So I'm going to check for fault codes. So the first thing, well, you're going to check because the battery's being disconnected. Yeah, anything could happen. So we've got live data, all sensors. Let's look for fault codes. Read. I don't think it will have any. I mean, it hasn't got a check engine light. They're usually they're in your face, these things. If they've got a fault, you can know about it. So far, yep, no fault code. So we go to sensors, go to all sensors, see what it's doing. Voltage 14.1, that's pretty high. Engine load, engine temperature 89. Yep, that's bang on the cluster. It looks similar. Intake manifold pressure 30 kPa, that's on idle. Yep. Engine RPM, yep, that's good. Intake temp 42. To verify that with my other car. Yeah, all looks good. Part that sucks, it hasn't got a. No, my other Jeep hasn't got a temperature input for, or it doesn't tell you the transmission temperature. It's blank, so I don't know why. Maybe it's the ABD tool. Try flicking the switch on it. There's two settings on it. Try that out. No, it doesn't seem any different. RPM. Yep. Okay. All is good then. All is good. Alright, leave it at that, and I'll show you something else I found too. In Australia we get pretty hectic conditions in summer. I don't know what it is in American language, but we go by Celsius, so it gets up to 40, 45 degrees some days. Really, really heat wave sort of day. But in saying that, somebody's put an aftermarket PWR in a transmission cooler, so that's a very good thing. Yeah, radiator looks pretty good. The next job on the list won't be today. My son's hassling me about going shopping. Is to clean up this interior. So let's say seats are Loretto style. I was going to swap them out with I've got the limited leather seats I could put in it, but I haven't got the bottom sections. They're missing from the other car, which sucks. I'll leave these seats, but I've got the other door trims are better. These ones are chalky, going white. So I've got door trims I can replace. Fortunately, the dash is all I've got. The other one's probably about the same. But yeah, it just needs a really good clean up. Good clean up, and I reckon then I'll just park it, then just leave it, let it sit, start up every now and then. But this one's got to replace that window. I've got that out of another. I've got the other Jeep outside. But yeah, this one's obviously a lot nicer. It's limited, so it's got a lot of leather seats. It's got sunroof. This one's got all for it. It's not an overland or nothing, but yeah, it's got I've done a lot of work to it. The other one's got a nice cluster to the white gauges. I can put that in it possibly if you're able to swap them over. But yeah, so far so good. Had a big morning. I've been up since about 6 o'clock hooking into this. So I've got this really good carpet clean. Vax. Very good investment. So I've cleaned, used multi-purpose cleaner to clean all the plastics, and then I've the amount of gunk that come out of the carpet. It's unbelievable. Just a little bit of work on this car, bit of love, and it's coming up really good. Look at the dirt that's coming out of the carpet where people spilt drinks. So I took the seats out. I had the seats out so you can really get under them and get rid of all the, looks like Coke. Typical drink that you mostly finds Coke. Comes out like brown water. I assume it's Coke, but not a problem that people might have is all this stuff starts coming up. All that was peeled up. So what you do is get a bit of super glue. Be generous, put it all behind it, and then just hold it down, and just, yeah, it's back in place now, how it should be. I was wondering why someone disconnected the tweeters, and I worked out as soon as I connect them back up, they get a really bad static sound. So, yeah, that explains it. But what I'd be more inclined to do is that one there. You can get proper, like a bezel that surround to suit the double din. What I do, I just get on the internet, got on eBay, and I bought this one from Australia, seller in Sydney, Brash, he calls himself. So yeah, that's the way to go. Stereo looks really good. So it's all plug and play. Plug it in, you got steering wheel controls, and for this one I've got reverse camera. I've even got a camera up the front here. Can see what's going on. Records everything. Got to give this thing some love next. Got sandal through it. But I'm just almost done with this car for the day, I reckon. Just got to put that upper section back in and get her out the sun then, and just let it dry out because there's a lot of moisture through the car. So I was thinking about taking that head unit out and just putting a standard. I've got a factory one there. I've got another bezel I can put in there. I'll probably end up doing that. It does look good when it's, I don't know, probably just leave it. Get on to something else like cleaning that car. The gunk that come out of it. Unreal. So I think it's time to wrap it up for this video. Don't know what the hell to do with this car. I think for now I'll just park it. Just put it in the shed and do other stuff. Ultimately it needs, the bonnet needs to be resprayed, the roof and the boot. A couple of dins on the boot I've got to resolve. Apart from that, she's pretty good. Need a stereo upgrade obviously. Yeah, that's it. Not much else I really, nothing else I really want to do at this stage. The bumpers will need a repaint, bring it back to being nice grey again. Definitely needs exhaust. A few things to do to it, but I'm not too fussed about it. It doesn't mean it's like it cost me money to buy it obviously, but I know for a fact that if I've done a few repairs on it, I could easily sell it and make money out of it. But I don't know. I want to get this one resolved before I do anything. It's got like the occasional miss in it. My son's undecided what car he's going to get. He's telling me this morning he wouldn't mind this car, but I'm not just going to give it to him. And yeah, all that work for nothing. He could wreck it. No, I'll fix it. Oh, it worked out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, put another video up sometime.